Hi everyone, Cheryl here from Love and Light Yoga, and thank you for clicking on this video and joining me for your full body yoga stretch. You will not need anything else for this, just yourself and your mat. So whenever you are ready, let's begin. So let's begin today by coming onto our hands in our knees. Let's meet in tabletop. Have your wrists under your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And just begin by very gently starting to make some circles with the hips. So just starting to bring a little bit of movement into the hips, but into the lower back as well. Just breathing deeply here, starting to connect with your breath, starting to connect with this movement. Taking a few circles one way and then switching directions and just taking a few the other way. And then maybe we start to think about making this movement a little bit bigger. So rather than making these circles with the hips, we're going to make these big circles with the entire body. So starting to bring the weight of the body all the way back towards the heels, circling around and then coming forward over the wrists. So now just starting to wake up the wrists, the arms, the shoulders. And then again, switching directions, just taking a few of these bigger circles in the other way. Still connecting to the breath. So always thinking about the inhales and the exhales. And if the mind begins to wander, just bringing it back to the breath. Take one more big circle, whichever way you're going, and then meet me back in your tabletop, on your hands and your knees. From here, we'll take a few cat-cows. So as we inhale, we look forward, we roll the shoulders back, point the tailbone high. As we exhale, tuck the chin into the chest, round the shoulder blades, tailbone points down. As we inhale, we roll the spine forward, look forward, open the chest. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the upper back. Inhale, rolling forward, dropping the belly. Exhale, chin to chest, belly button to spine. Nice, just taking a few more of these. Again, feeling that connection with the breath, so just moving in time with your own breath. Let's take one more full round here. So an inhale and an exhale, and then meet me back in your tabletop on the hands and the knees. From here, we're going to move into our puppy pose. So where the palms of your hands are, that's where you're going to want your elbows to be. So we're going to drop down onto the forearms here, bringing the forearms along the floor, the elbows to the floor. Keeping the hips high and over the knees if we can. We're either going to stay here, or if we can maybe go a little bit further, we might start to walk the fingertips a little bit further forward, maybe starting to extend through the elbows. And what we want to think about here is melting the chest and melting the forehead down towards our mat. Breathing deeply here and feeling this stretch in through the upper back, in through the shoulder blades, lengthening out the arms, lengthening out the spine. Keeping one big long line all the way from your tailbone to the neck. And then this is only an option, only if we want to go for a bit of a deeper stretch. We might start to take the gaze forward. We might bring the chin onto the floor, look towards the fingertips. We're here for one big inhale, full exhale, and then slowly we release all the way back, and we're going to come back into our tabletop. Nice. From here, we're going to come up into our downward dog just to start to stretch out the back of the body. So spread the fingertips nice and wide, start to tuck the toes underneath, and then whenever you're ready, send the hips back and lift them high. Downward facing dog. Maybe finding a little bit of movement here. So walking the dog out, bending and straightening each knee, taking each knee forwards. And then maybe bringing in a little bit of a twist. So we might start to send the knee out towards the opposite side, just bringing a little twist in through the hips, an extra stretch for the side of the body. Take one more breath here. And then whenever you're ready, slowly lowering the knees back to the mat and walking the hands back towards the knees. Coming back into this kneeling position. From here, just catching the breath. We're going to make little circles, not little circles, little fists with our hands, and just start to circle out the wrists here. So just sending them one way and then the other way. And we're just warming up the wrists here and strengthening the wrists because we're going to be coming back into our downward facing dog in just a moment. So taking a few little circles through the wrists and then giving them a little bit of a shake. Just shake, 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 shaking the fingertips, shaking the hands. And then bring the knees back to your thighs. Take the chin towards the chest and just take a few little half neck circles here. Just warming up the neck and the upper back. Keep the shoulders soft and away from the ears. And then coming back to center. From here, we're going to release ourselves forward once again into our tabletop. And whenever you're ready, coming up to our downward facing dog. So the fingertips are wide, we're tucking the toes under, sending the hips high and back, coming into your downward facing dog. Nice. From here, take the gaze up in between your hands, and we're going to step the left foot forward. So we might pick the left leg up, bend the knee, and we step the leg up in between our hands. We're going to take a gaze back towards the back foot, and we're going to try to plant the back heel. So the toes are going to go out on a little bit of an angle here. We're going to keep the sole of the foot on the floor as we inhale, and we reach both hands up towards the sky into your warrior one position. Lovely. From here, we want to think about keeping the hips facing forward, keeping the chest squared off towards the front of your mat. You can have a deep bend in through that front knee or a little bend, it doesn't matter. Take one big inhale here and a full exhale. Nice. Take one more inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to lower the arms, we're going to open the hips, open the toes, come into your warrior two. So the hips are now facing the side of the room, the toes are facing the side of the room, our arms are at shoulder height and we're gazing out over that front hand. Take a big inhale, and as we exhale, we might sit a little bit lower into that front knee. Nice. Taking one more big inhale and exhale here. And then we might choose to stay here for our last couple of breaths, or we might drop the front elbow onto the front knee, reach the back hand up towards the sky, open up the chest, take one more full round of breath. And then after your exhale, coming back into your warrior two, we're going to sweep both hands all the way up to the sky, come onto the tippy toes of the back foot, and then lower the hands all the way down, framing the left foot. Drop the back knee to the floor, step the left knee back to meet the right, and take a quick child's pose here. Breathe into the back, breathe into the shoulders, slow the breath down. And then whenever you're ready, releasing out of your child's pose and meeting me once again back in your tabletop. Back to hands and knees, spreading the fingertips wide, tucking the toes under and reaching the hips high and back, coming into your downward facing dog. Taking one full round of breath here, a big inhale and exhale. And then taking the gaze up in between the hands. On your next inhale, we might reach the right foot up, bend the knee, and step the right foot in between the hands, coming into your low lunge. Take a little look back towards the back foot. We're going to plant that foot onto the floor. The toes are going to be out on a little bit of an angle here. Get nice and strong through the legs, through the core, and then inhale to sweep both hands up towards the sky, warrior one. Stay nice and long through the back, through the front body. Keep the fingertips reaching high. Hips and chest are squared off towards the front of your mat. Take one big inhale here. And then as we exhale, let's open into our warrior two. So our hips are side facing, our toes are side facing. Our fingertips coming down to shoulder height here, reaching forwards, gazing out over that front hand. We might sit a little bit lower into that right knee. And then for our last few breaths, we might stay here in our warrior two, or we might drop the elbow onto the front knee, reaching up with the back hand, opening up the chest, slightly leaning back, taking one big inhale, full exhale, and then returning back to our warrior two. From here, let's reach both hands up towards the sky, spin onto the tippy toes of the back foot, take a big breath in, and then as we exhale, lower the hands back to the floor, drop the left knee back to your mat, step the right knee back, and take one more quick child's pose. Maybe in this child's pose, we keep the knees and the toes together so we feel that nice stretch through the lower back. We might keep the hands in the center, or we might start to walk the hands off towards the right hand side. Just feeling that extra stretch through the left hand side of the body. And then maybe coming back through center, taking the hands off towards the left, keeping the forehead low, keeping the chest low, stretching out through the right hand side of the body. And then bringing the hands back through center. Take one more big inhale and exhale. And then walk the hands all the way back towards the knees. From here, for our last little stretch, we're going to find ourselves coming to sit on our bums. We're going to take the legs out nice and long in front of us, and we're going to find a seated forward fold. So if it feels better for you to have the knees completely straight, take the knees completely straight. If it feels better for you to have a slight bend in the knees, by all means take that bend in through the knees. But think about sitting tall here. So crown of the head is reaching up high. We are long through the spine. Let's inhale to reach the hands up towards the sky. Take one more big breath in, and then as we breathe out, think about hinging forward from your hips, coming down just to where we are met with a little bit of resistance, and then we're going to drop the hands and think about releasing the upper body down over the legs. Your hands can be wherever they are, so we might be further up, the hands might be behind the thighs, they might be behind the lower legs, maybe coming towards the ankles or the feet. Wherever they are, it doesn't matter. Think about everything from your hips up, completely relaxing here. So relaxing the spine, no tension in your shoulders or your neck. letting the upper body fall down over the legs, letting the breath slow down here. And then after your next full exhale, we can slowly think about releasing, maybe lifting the gaze, lifting the upper body. We're going to bring ourselves down onto our backs. So coming down slowly, coming to lie down, bringing the knees in towards the chest, and then maybe just finding a little rock from side to side. Massaging out the lower back, massaging out the shoulder blades. And then eventually coming back to center, back to stillness. We might drop the legs here, we might take the arms by the sides, and we can close down the eyes here. Take a few deep breaths. Reconnect to the breath. Reconnect to the body. Notice how the body might be feeling. And then if you have time, I encourage you to stay here, maybe pause the video and stay here for as long as you can. But if, of course, you need to get on with the rest of your day, feel free to begin to roll yourself onto one side and then slowly make your way up into a comfortable seated position on your mat. And thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you would like to see more like this, please subscribe. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Namaste.